I'd like to greet everybody this evening with a universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. This evening happened to be Tuesday, February the 18th, 2020. The time being about 4:20 p.m. First, I'd like to say happy birthday to my grandfather, Barry B. Ivy, who was born February the 18th, 1892. May he rest in peace. This form here, I want you to see, it's a report. It's the Charleston, Missouri Department of Public Safety offense and incident report. This report, as I read it, I want y'all to look at my security cameras, because I went up to the Charleston, Missouri Police Department today to get this here. You see a police car coming now. That is the officer that actually wrote this incident report. His name is Austin Henson. That's Henson. It was an incident that happened on February the 13th, 2020 at the Family Dollar store on the corner of Vine and Main Street in Charleston, Missouri, with a white female employee by the name of Teresa Danielle Carr. That's C-A-R-R. My two daughters had went into the store, and the long story short, you will be able to see from my part 1 and part 2 of the YouTube videos that I made yesterday telling the story of what happened. But my daughters and them, when they told me what happened, by them being 13 and 14 years old, the oldest one called me crying and asked me what she should do. I told her to go across the street to the store McLean's supermarket, which was right across the street from Family Dollar here in Charleston, Missouri. Told them to go across the street, and I was going to call the police, and I called my neighbor to come pick them up. When the police did finally come, it was the black sergeant, the only black on the Charleston, Missouri Police Department here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County. When he came, he arrived with his code officer, his code worker, police officer Henson. And I told my daughter and them when I put him on the phone, my daughter gave Sergeant Percy Owens the phone, and he was giving it to Austin Henson. She'll tell you the story on that. But my daughters them didn't give Officer Austin Henson nor Sergeant Percy Owens a statement, period. I mean, period. All they did was told him, my dad want to talk to you. I told Sergeant Percy Owens what happened to my two children in the dollar store, and the only thing I asked him, would he take my daughters and them across the street to the Family Dollar to point out the white female that we feel harassed them, disrespected them, embarrassed them inside of there, and I believe that she verbally assaulted them inside of this store. I asked him to get the information of her, and he called me back and later and gave it. But I want to read this report that Officer Henson put. He put something in here that's not true. When you see me and him talking out there, sooner or later you'll see me go into my house and bring out this same report that I just showed y'all to show him where he didn't put correct information on that. I'm the one called to complain. If I called to complain, you should have everything in there I told you my daughters and them said. But you put in what you wanted to put in there. And then you put in here, when I'm talking to you out here on this thing, out on my porch, you told me that you didn't talk to my daughters, that Sergeant Percy Owens, your supervisor, talked to him, and you said that this is what he told you. You got to either be lying or he lying, or both of y'all be lying if he said my daughters and them gave him a statement, because they didn't. All they did was gave him the phone, and I gave him the statement. But listen to this mess here. This is how they cover up stuff here in Charleston, Missouri, with the Charleston, Missouri Police Department. Not all. And when you're black, it's going up against white prejudice up in here. They always try to cover it up. Now, they making this here make it seem like my daughters and them is some type of villain. But listen to this report. On Thursday, February the 13th, 2020, at approximately 1710 hours, which is 5:10 p.m. This is Officer Henson report. I was dispatched to McLean's Food Center located at 610 South Main Street in reference to an assault. When I arrived on the scene, I was unable to locate the parties I was supposed to be meeting. A few moments later, they arrived. They were juveniles and are identified as QNI, which is Queen Ramona Nicole Ivy, black male, and BI Birdie Ivy, black male. The two juveniles then had Sergeant Owens speak with their father, me, Raymond Lewis Ivy. They didn't speak to him. The father is identified as Raymond Lewis Ivy, black male. This is his report. Ivy stated that his daughters had been verbally assaulted while they were at the Family Dollar store across the street. He stated that he had contacted the corporate office and informed them that an employee had asked his youngest daughter if that was a wig on her head. Then stated that she was barred from the store and asked about her mother. Ivy then stated that he wanted to have his daughters point out which employee it was. This is Austin Henson. Myself and Sergeant Owens then traveled to 609 South Main Street, Family Dollar. On the Family Dollar store address, it has 601, but we know what we're talking about in Charleston, Missouri. When we arrived, QIN, which is Queen Ramona Ivy, and Birdie Ivy pointed out a white female employee. She was identified as Teresa Danielle Carr, C-A-R-R. Now this is what he said Carr said. Carr told us she had a mom and daughter come into the store and steal a lot. She thought one of the girls was the daughter. She asked if she was supposed to be in the store. This is what she said. She asked my daughter, was she supposed to be in the store? And the girl did not respond. Said my daughter didn't respond. Then, this is what the police saying she said. She then asked it again, something to the nature of, you with the wig. Identifying my daughter, you with the wig. Not hey young girl or hey young lady, but you with the wig. Are you the girl that is not supposed to be in here? Both girls told her they did not have a mother. One of the two girls then began to cuss at Carr. The two girls left before Carr was able to get a photo to make a positive identification. Now, this is the end of his thing. He claiming, when I'm talking to him, he claiming this was what Carr told him. Anybody with good sense, no, this is his statement. The police officer, Officer Henson, he said, this is what it says. After speaking with Carr and the juveniles involved, Carr couldn't say this here. This have to be the police, whoever wrote this. After speaking with Carr and the juveniles involved, there has been no crime committed. Carr was simply doing her job as an employee of Family Dollar to cut down on theft. This report will be classified as unfounded, y'all. Unfounded. No merit for UCR purposes. UCR, for those that don't know, is Uniform Crime Report. Now, I want my daughters and them to tell y'all what happened, because what Austin Henson said that my daughters said, that ain't what happened. You know, that ain't what happened. Now my daughter's going to tell the real story, what happened at the Family Dollar.
So me and my sister are going to tell you the truth about what happened at Family Dollar on February the 13th at 2020. So me and my sister went to Family Dollar. We was in there so we could get some snacks, and I was going up to the counter so I could get me a candy bar. And that's when Teresa Carr said, "Is that a wig you have on?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." And I was walking back to my sister. And that's when she was like, "You know you're not supposed to be in here, right?" And she said that as she was coming around the corner. So I stopped and I was like, "What do you mean? I haven't been in here all day." And then that's when she was like, "You know you're not supposed to be in here, right?" And then so when she had said that, she had came closer to us, and my sister was standing behind me, and I was standing beside me, and I was standing straight, and Teresa Carr was in front of my sister, and she was this close to my sister, invading both of our personal space. And so when she had said what she said, then she had said, "Wasn't you in here with your mother?" And then I told her, I said, "We don't have a mother." And then she said, "Well, stepmother." I said, "We don't have a mother nor stepmother." So then she put her hand on the rack where they had gum and other stuff. And she said, "Well, I said stepmother," in an aggressive way. So after that, I had told her again, I said, "We don't have a mother nor stepmother." And so I asked her, I said, "So you don't know me and my sister?" And so she didn't answer. She was just sitting there with a smirk on her face. So then I asked her again, I said, "So you don't know me and my sister?" She said, "Well, I have a picture of the girl." I said, "Well, get the picture." She pulled out her phone, and then she just walked away. So me and my sister put down our baskets. I went out the door first. Then my sister followed behind me. Then I had called my dad, and I told him what happened. And then first I asked him, "Can I call the police?" And then he was like, "What happened?" I told him, and then he instructed us to go to McLean's Food Center. Then our neighbor came and got us. The police didn't come for like 5 minutes, and after that we had left and came back to McLean's, and they were there. And so we got out the car, and I told my dad that they were there. And then I gave the phone to Sergeant Percy Owens, and then he tried to give the phone to Officer Austin Henson. Then I told Sergeant Percy that my dad wanted to talk to him, so he got the phone. And then after a few minutes of talking to my dad, he asked me could I put it on speaker. Then my dad asked them to follow us over to Family Dollar so we can point out Teresa Carr. And once we got to Family Dollar, we pointed out Teresa Carr. My sister said, "There she is." And then they said, "Which one?" Then I said, "The one right there laughing on her phone."
Okay, she never produced the picture.
Never. No, sir.
Okay, when she made you upset, even though she made you upset, what did you say when she asked you had a wig on your head?
I said, "Yes, ma'am."
Why? Because what? I taught you better, didn't I?
My dad taught us manners.
Y'all heard, y'all seen what Austin Henson had in his report saying that he told me y'all gave Percy information. He talked it to Teresa Carr, and Percy Owens talked to y'all. What was in that report, did y'all tell Percy that?
No, sir.
Did y'all tell Percy anything?
No, sir.
Besides what? That my dad
wanted to talk to you.
Okay. In that report, they claim that one of the girls cussed. Did any one of y'all cuss?
No, sir.
Teresa Carr didn't even said y'all cussed. Nobody in corporate said y'all cussed. But in Austin Henson report, he said that she said y'all cussed it. So we know one thing, that either him or Percy or both of them is lying. He said that they got a statement from Teresa Carr and the juveniles. The juveniles didn't give them no statement, did they? No. Who gave them a statement?
You did.
Your poppy. I just want to show y'all how they work in Charleston, Missouri when blacks is going up against racist whites in a police department that's guided by Robert Bobby Hearns. Y'all done seen what happened in the schools, no reports. Y'all done seen how they came in our house. You see what I'm saying? But we still stand strong. And who got us, y'all?
God.
God. Peace what?
Peace be still.